What's up, everyone? Dreamcast720 here, back with another video. Today, I'm joined by the Realist Pinkster, and we're going to be talking about Deadpool 2.
Yay!
Yay. So, tell me your thoughts on the movie, Pinkster.
I I like Deadpool too, but then again, I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds and his version of Deadpool, so I I really enjoyed myself.
What did you enjoy about the movie?
Okay, so I really liked, of course, you guys have to understand. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. He was pretty much cast to be himself as Deadpool. It's just him turned up a whole bunch and like overacting, which is fine because you need to be able to overact to be Deadpool because you can't overact and like be kind of like all the way out there with the zingers that Deadpool's drops, then you're gonna fall flat. So yes, he really came back with this one. I like the story that was surrounding it, and I agree and I disagree about some of the stuff with Cable. But then again, I don't really know Cable's canon that well to know. Yeah, that was okay. That was that's exactly how it happened in the books, in the comic books. But I still enjoyed Deadpool.
So, what was your favorite moment in the film?
Domino. Every time Domino was on the screen and doing her thing with Luck, I was like, yeah.
Now, see, the domino thing, I couldn't disagree with you more. It was cute, but after a while, it was more annoying. I mean, if you know the Domino character, I mean, she's just a badass bitch in every sense of the word. And I'm just looking at what they did here, and I was like, okay, it was funny the first time, and then I'm going, no. No. But that was your favorite moment of the film was Domino, anytime she was on screen.
Yeah, anytime Domino was on screen, I did enjoy the cameo of Juggernaut. I didn't really. I know who it is. I know who does the voice of Juggernaut, even though in the credits it says Juggernaut is himself.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, yay, it's the Juggernaut.
Okay, and so what was your least favorite moment of the film?
Um, I didn't think we need the big giant like sad opening. The whole opening was kind of mm,
Kind of
it
reminiscent of the first one?
yeah, it was just like, okay, we need to have Vanessa die and all this other stuff, and it got into the feels a bit, and Deadpool was kind of whiny because he's like, how would I feel if my actual life died? This is how I would be, kind of thing.
We'll see. Okay, for myself, the best part of the film actually was Colossus. Colossus actually was my favorite part of the film. I do like
Yes,
when Deadpool does the scene from what is that, Better Off Dead, where he
yes,
stands there with the radio. That was kind of cool.
that was so cute.
My only drawback, the film overall to me was okay. I mean, if I had to give it a rating, it would be a 6 out of 10. I think that a lot of ways that this movie tries too hard to be funny. There are a lot of things that you see in the beginning. Like I said, the whole death scene in that did not bother me. I thought
Yeah,
that was, I'm like, okay. I mean, they kind of recycled some jokes, him with
yeah.
the little mini legs and that kind of thing. But I mean, as you
But
get into the middle of the film, it's just, okay, now we're really trying really hard to be funny, and we're not funny.
I don't think so.
And I mean, I was really kind of bummed that okay, you introduce Shatterstar just to have him killed so ridiculously.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Um, and I realized that that he's poking fun at political messages, and that you got like the kid that has the firepower, was talking about, no, heroes in these movies, they're not heavy guys, they're all thin, muscular, and in shape, and all of that, and I thought the Juggernaut was pretty cool. They did not make him as strong as he should have been.
No, he was way stronger. Yeah, his skill set
I
was
mean,
like way off.
right. I mean, he should have been just, that's his whole line is, no power on earth can move the Juggernaut.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Right, and you're watching him and Colossus go at it, which would be a good fight, but in the
Hmm.
end,
It
come on.
was really one-sided.
Right, and it's like the ending seemed very rushed. Like I said, it tried to be funny. Like, you get to the middle of it, it tries to be funny still, to me, and I'm going, okay, that's not funny. It was funny the first time. Now you're trying too hard. And the end, like I said, the ending seems really, really rushed. And while I thought, like you said, I liked the whole uh, pink-haired
Mhm.
anime style girl. I can't think of her name.
uh, Yukio or whatever her
Right,
name
Yukio.
was.
I thought that was kind of a cute touch. But then to sit there, but then to turn around and have what's her name, the other X-Men, she's just sort of there. I'm gonna sit here and be Butch and kind of glare at you, and that's all I'm gonna do.
Yeah, Brianna Hildebrand, Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Right, and all I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna glare at you. I'm gonna glare at you twice in this movie and go, okay. And you're like, okay, that's kind of useless. Now I did like him whipping around in Professor X's chair, and making the joke about,
Mm-hmm.
with the the head thing,
Yeah.
you know, because smells like Patrick Stewart. you know,
Yeah.
I mean that
That was
was pretty
funny.
funny.
That was so funny.
I mean, like you said, there are parts of it that are really really funny, but it's like I said, you get halfway through it, and to me, it's like, okay, now we're trying. We're really kind of it didn't feel as natural.
Mm-hmm.
I liked him flying around the mansion in the wheelchair, knocking stuff over. That was pretty funny. Cable, Josh Brolin, he was okay.
Okay, so how about this? Did you like Josh as Brolin as Cable better or Thanos? Because he's like one of the first ever to sign this like dual contract right now.
Given the two, I would still have to say Cable, and that is a matter of writing. It's not necessarily a matter of acting. It was a matter of
Hmm.
writing. I mean, as I said, Thanos to me was very bland. I mean, but when you look at it, what he was given, he did a fantastic job. But and Cable, when you go on the original story and he comes back and he almost kind of has that Bishop story that I have to kill Gambit
Hmm.
because he's going to portray you in the future. And
Yeah.
and Cables comes back, yeah, right, because basically he knows what the future is,
Right.
and
And he's supposed to.
right, but it's just like you said, it just seemed okay. Boom, here's the end.
Yeah.
I mean, you really knew how it was going to end when I mean the prolonged death scene and the whole it's not your time. I mean, and I knew it was going to be something like that.
Hmm.
It's not your time to be here, and you could see it. It was not like you were going to be surprised by that. Like you said, there are parts that are all Deadpool, and then like you said, there are parts to me that are just way too forced or seem to be too forced. I don't know why. Like you said, we're gonna do X Force, and then we're gonna kill everybody, Shatterstar, and I'm going okay. Because I mean, I know they wanted to spin off a full X Force movie. So I'm just kind of going, okay, you have Domino, Shatterstar is dead. Um, I mean, Warpath, and I mean, you go down the list, but I'm just like, why would you kill Shatterstar? Why would you do that? I mean, of course, there again, this is a Marvel movie. Nobody stays dead forever. I
River,
mean,
yeah,
you know,
right.
I mean, so it could be as simple as they use the time stream mechanism. Okay, he's not dead. I mean, you could come up with a million explanations for why he survived, but it was there again. That was some of the stuff that was really
hmm
kind of forced to me. That I'm going, okay. And some of the fight scenes were just completely unrealistic. I'm going, no, no, it's not like there. I mean, fight scenes that you're going, okay. Um, if you know these characters, you're kind of looking, like I said, there again, Colossus and Juggernaut. I mean, even though they've had their fair share of run-ins, I mean, that, like you said, that fight was very one-sided.
It was.
So you just kind of go, and I mean, and there were some others, and you're watching the whole Domino cable thing, and I'm shaking my head the whole time, going, okay. I mean, yeah, I just couldn't help but shake my head. I mean, like I said, did I enjoy the movie? Yeah, for the most part. Was it? I've seen some other reviews where people were like, "Oh yeah, it was much better than the first one," and
No, yeah.
and there was more. And see, and I would disagree. I actually enjoyed the first one better. I thought the first one felt more natural. I'm not going to say that it was out without its flaws, but the
hmm
first one felt to me more natural. It didn't seem like there were things that were overly forced.
hmm
Where the second one seems to me, there's parts of it, like you said, that they kind of force it. It's kind of not funny, even though they're trying really hard to make it funny. And
hmm
then they just wrap it up instantly that you're like, really, this movie should have gone on for a while. And you're just like, nope, we've reached our hour and 50-minute mark or whatever it is, and we're done. I mean, the whole Ryan Reynolds, you know, the
Well,
end
it
credit
was.
thing, huh?
Yeah, there's a couple of end credit scenes that actually in mid credits, Yukio repairs Cable's time traveling device, and she gives it to Deadpool, and he uses it to save the lives of Vanessa and X Force member Peter, and then kill X the X Men Origins Wolverine version of Deadpool, and to kill Ryan Reynolds while he is considering starring
Green Lantern,
in
right?
Green Lantern.
I mean, though, yeah, those were really cool. Um, I mean, so I don't, like you said, I didn't get as much of an enjoyment out of it as you did.
Yeah, I did because I was happy that they kind of brought in Deadpool's pans. They did. They kind of brought out his pansexuality because Deadpool flirts with both with anything that moves.
Right. Well,
He
and
does.
that's I mean, and that's going to be for a whole nother rant. Where they turned Lando supposedly pansexual, and I'm like, WTF? I mean,
Yeah. No, Deadpool is pansexual
right?
because he.
Deadpool is, but Lando is not. You know, So, and I'm just going, okay, what in the hell? But I mean, like I said, overall, I would give the movie a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed the first one better. It seemed more natural.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, so where would you rate this one?
Uh, I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
An 8 out of 10. Now, if you had to compare the two, Deadpool versus Avengers, which one would you give it to?
I think I enjoyed Deadpool more. I want to say,
You
and
enjoy.
that, and that's because I like crude, silly humor. So
So you enjoyed Deadpool more than you did the Avengers?
I did, and it, and I really don't know why. I did. I laughed more. I guess it was because Avengers Affinity War and the overall theme of some of the Marvel movies have gotten very, very dark. And it's not that I just like feel good movies because I don't, but I just thoroughly more enjoyed it. I think it was because I think I didn't enjoy Infinity War as much as I should have because I was reading the reviews and people were hyping it up so much, and then I'm watching it and I'm like, really?
Oh, I see. So you, yeah, the movie was built so high that you were just like, really,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
got from
yeah.
that?
And then I felt let down, and I'm like,
Well, see, and that was one of the things that when we talked about the Avengers movie is that I didn't get into the hype, didn't watch the trailers, didn't watch any of that. So I went into it, other than hearing people say, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
yeah,
You know, I mean, but I didn't read a whole lot of reviews. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the trailers. I didn't, and then I just saw the movie, and
I the theory. There are theories, and I've heard a couple of them about why Hulk refused to fight Thanos.
okay, which are
Um, one of them, one of them doesn't even make sense. And then I'm like, and I'll explain why. It's like, well, Hulk is afraid. It's like, well, if he was afraid, maybe is which is I don't think ever really happens to Hulk, but it could be foreshadowing that Hulk is supposed to be separated from Banner eventually.
that's a possibility. But even then, no. I mean, the
Hmm.
Hulk isn't afraid of anybody.
Right.
I
And I'm
mean,
like, he's not afraid.
well, I think, and it might have been. I mean, technically, in the big picture, Universal still owns NBC. Universal owns the rights to the Hulk. I know they have a deal with Disney to be able to use him.
Hmm.
Um, and it might have been a contractual thing. It might have been that Universal wanted too much, considering the Hulk had a big part. And that's the other thing is the Hulk had a really big part in Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
So that could have also been they're like okay because I mean even when you really look at Thor, other than the beginning, the lighting of the Great Furnace again, and
Hmm.
then that one attack where he comes down after the what's the name of the hammer? The
Mjolnir.
no, not Mjolnir. The other one, the Sunbreaker. When the
Okay.
Sunbreaker hammer is forged, which is Beta Ray Bill's hammer, but I mean he
Okay.
uses it and in the comics anyway. And then when he comes down and hits Thanos with it, I mean even Thor doesn't have what I would call an overly huge part. I mean you see him quite a bit because he has. Oh, I mean, I sound like I'm contradicting myself. I mean, you see him, but you don't because I mean, he has the whole scene with the Guardians of the Galaxy with Rocket Raccoon, but then, like you said, the Great Forge, and then the attack on Thanos himself. But I mean, a lot of the movie centers around there again, the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Hmm.
So, and it was interesting that, I mean, and I know that Deadpool is a 20th Century Fox product, and I know that the deal with Disney and ongoing, and they're still ironing everything out. What I thought would have been interesting is to kind of have Infinity War kind of roll over into Deadpool, meaning that, I mean, you could have sat there and had two or three of these, I mean, non essential characters just simply vanish.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, you could have had them just vanish, and he was like, okay, that was weird. Not knowing if that was the kid, was that Cable, was that what the hell's going on here? I think it would have been interesting if they had just kind of rolled a little bit of that in there to have that effect as it rolls out into the Marvel universe.
Hmm.
Because if this deal with 20th Century Fox gets done next year, which Disney is predicting that, yeah, it'll take about a year to get done. Okay, you're already going to be into the third movie, but you could have kind of rolled that in there without it disrupting really anything else. Because, like I said, you killed Shatterstar, you killed a couple other people. You didn't really have to kill them that way. You could have just had them vanish or turn into spaghetti or whatever, and did it that way. And the movie audience wouldn't understand. Like, holy crap! Yeah, that's because of, they would get it instead of just the really, to me, mindless dumb humor, and the way they killed him was not there, but they could have really kind of rolled that in, and I think that would have been, really kind of cool. You've been like, oh wow, okay. I mean, I don't really know what they're gonna do for a third one.
Okay.
Uh, so, but I mean, was there anything else about this particular one that really kind of stood out to you?
No, I mean, I love Ryan Reynolds. I love Deadpool, and I really thought this was a really good sequel. As because when you have movies like this, a sequel can go one or two ways. It can go to be really good or be just terrible.
Right.
And it wasn't terrible.
No.
Like I said, I liked it. I don't understand Freedom is trying too hard to be funny. No.
They're in the middle, towards the middle, and as you go on, yeah, it starts trying too hard to be funny. I mean, you know, it just, not to say that it still wasn't funny, but it's like you could
Hmm.
tell they were trying too hard. They didn't know what else to do. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, like I said, Ryan Reynolds, obviously, yes, he does a fantastic job as Deadpool. Um, he he along with the writing. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't think that it's natural. You said that this is Ryan Reynolds basically to the extreme, but I mean, I think a lot of it is the writing. Yes, he pulls it off with his own personality. Um, they took, and it was kind of when you and I had talked about the original Deadpool movie. A lot of the original humor in the first one was almost that early Spider-Man esque type humor, that friendly neighborhood Spider-Man humor. And in
Yep.
this one, they kind of they went to a further degree. They went to the nth degree with it a little more in this one. It was uh, much darker. The humor in a lot of ways is much darker, and then in a lot of ways it was much simpler. It's kind of difficult to explain. Um, but I mean, like you said, to me, the movie was fair. Well, it was good. I mean, it was better than fair. It was good. It just was not great. And I think that as we go on in these movies,
Hmm.
in these Marvel movies, our expectations get more and more. And that could be, but I mean, for this, I was expecting more. I wasn't expecting there again, that kind of beat a dead horse. The way, like I said, part of it seemed like it was trying too hard to be funny. I'd be curious to see where they take the film franchise. I mean, I'd be curious to see what happens when it rolls over into Marvel and Disney. I mean, so far I have to give Disney Marvel credit, at least on that front, in that they haven't destroyed the Marvel films like they have the Star Wars franchise. But I mean, we'll see where it goes from here. So, any final thoughts?
No.
No? Alrighty. Well, we told you what we thought. We'd like to know what you guys think. Post a comment down below. Let us know. Did you like Deadpool 2? And if you did, why? If you didn't, tell us why. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And you can check out our social media here in the video. It gives you all the listings for it, so you can check those out as well. And we will catch you out on the next one. Take care.